Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 28, I believe. 28 of Peakton College. This is a very special edition. This is the Christmas episode or holiday episode if you celebrate something other than Christmas. Um, but it is a very special one for us. We both love Christmas, so it's going to be a fun time. Got the Santa robe on, the Santa hat
I love
on.
it.
The
Look
main
at you
reason
being
behind the
festive.
yeah, sometimes you got to bring it out. You got to bring out the Christmas spirit. And Craig's got the Christmas ugly sweater there. So why don't you explain to the viewers who doesn't know what that means, what that's all about? Is that like a Game of Thrones thing?
Yeah, it's a Game of Thrones. If you don't know, yeah, this is Arya. She's badass. She's my favorite since day one. Basically like she was the youngest kid and like goes away and learns how to be like an assassin. And she like made a list of like people who killed her family members, and that's her list. And then she kills them all throughout the seasons. So like that's her list.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
Well, like they're not, there's nuance that, but like that's her list, and then that's her goal is to like see all those people die. Um,
I've never seen Game of Thrones. I
dude,
apologize. I know it gets a lot of hype, but part of the reason why I don't want to watch it is like I'm a little bit resistant to the trends. So anything something's really trendy, I just kind of resist to it. I don't know why. It's just like some innate thing that I have in my bones that I just can't like conform. So it makes it hard.
it's really good. It's a big commitment, but I don't know if you're a fantasy guy, and like you don't have to be because it's really a political show. Like it's really good, but like I think you'd get into it, but like I don't know if you'd be a diehard. It's like a kind of show where you have to like kind of take notes almost, or like be looking up things, and like I don't know if that's the kind of like TV show watcher you are.
Yeah, you lost me at taking
Yeah,
notes.
yeah. So,
Plus, I don't have HBO, so that's a problem. But
yeah.
I did find a loophole this weekend. I was up in Michigan this past weekend, and we were at some like random store, and there was like a clearance rack that had like a complete set of Game of Thrones on DVD. I think
Ooh,
Blu-ray DVD. And so I was gonna buy it if it was cheap, but it was like $80. Bless you, bless you. Thanks for muting it too, so you didn't sneeze in my ear.
yeah, yeah.
$80 for this complete set. So like realistically, if you look at it, like it would probably take me a few months to get through the whole season. So the HBO memberships for those few months would probably be over $80.
Yeah,
But to me, I'm like
that's a good way to do it.
$80 up front. No thanks. So I
I'll offer you this, David. I have a set of all the DVDs or Blu-rays except for the last season. So if you want to watch, I'd let you borrow them for free.
okay, I'll think
You
about
see
it.
you see a lot of good you see a lot of good nudity, incest, and war in Game of Thrones. So that's a
How do
standing
you
invite.
how do you rank those three things: nudity, incest, and war?
I mean, it's got to be nudity, war, incest.
Yeah, okay. That's the correct rankings. Yeah, good job.
But it's funny because a lot of the nudity leads to war and incest. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and vice
Back
versa.
back then, incest was just like a common thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
And then yeah.
like whoever decided that that was okay, and then whoever decided that like, hey, what are we doing here? Like good for that guy to sit down and be like, or a gal to sit down and be like, hey, this does not make sense.
We
And
probably shouldn't do this.
all our kids are coming out looking fucked up, so we need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Must
Well,
be something
what
wrong.
a way to start the Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whoops. Sorry. So Merry Christmas, everybody. By the way, we need to tie that out on some things we brought up last episode. So first and foremost, Patrick Mahomes, we brought him up. I kind of I posed a question to the listeners: is Patrick Mahomes bad for the kids? And Craig, I've given you a couple days to really, sit on this and think about it. And so, what's your answer?
Not really. I don't know. I don't have a hot take. I guess maybe that's a shocker, but I think he's fine. I think he's a little whiny, but like I don't think he's a bad person. If we're talking about like his brother, he might be worse for the kids. But specifically Patrick, when you think of professional athletes and role models, I think he's probably on the better half of them. I don't think he's not a 10 out of 10, but he might be like a 6 out of 10. But yeah, he's kind of whiny. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting the family tier or the family dynamic that exists in the Mahomes family because it's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
the two brothers are kind of like a Venn diagram in my eyes, right?
Yeah.
So there you got Mahomes on one side, Patrick Mahomes, like both are Mahomes. Patrick on one side, who's like the athlete, he married his high school sweetheart. He's always been kind of the best athlete around, and now he's the best player in the NFL. And then you got on the other side of the spectrum, you got Jackson. And Jackson is a TikTok star. We don't know what side he bats for, but he's a TikToker. He's inspiring the TikTok generation. He's a dancer. He's not an athlete. So they couldn't be any more opposite. So it's interesting to see if there's anything that will come in the middle of those two. And maybe that's Taylor Swift. Maybe she was a good basketball player in high school. Maybe, and she's clearly a dancer, a TikToker
She's a
probably. I don't know.
performer,
I
yeah.
don't have a TikTok. She's a performer. Yeah. So maybe she's what falls in the middle of that Venn diagram. Maybe she's oh wait, she's not even in the Mahomes family. See,
No,
I'm
she's
so sick and tired
pretty.
of that whole castle of Chiefs dynamics going on there with the Kelces and Mahomes. I can't even keep track of it. I just put Swift in the Mahomes family.
Yeah. I mean, Kelce and Mahomes are a pretty sweet duo. I will say that.
I mean, yeah, those kids are going to be insane. Do you think Taylor Swift has any coordination or any athletic ability in those
Mm.
bones? Swifties, put down in the comments if you think Taylor Swift has any athletic ability, because I'm leaning no.
I think she has some. I don't think she's coordinated. That's maybe my take, but I mean, she is. I mean, I think when you're like that elite of a dancer performer, like it is, you have to have some innate ability.
But I've seen some videos on Twitter of her dancing, and it's not pretty, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like the endurance that she has to do those shows are like pretty impressive.
When I'm blacked
Like,
out at weddings, I dance better than Taylor Swift at her
let's
concerts.
go. Hot take. And we need to pull some dancing videos to compare. But
No, nobody wants to see that.
that would be interesting if they have kids like I do feel like we'd be having like a High School Musical like kid who's like an athlete and in the theater program.
Yeah, we'd get a little Zac
Troy
Efron
Bolton,
coming
yeah,
out. Yeah, a little Troy
yeah,
Bolton, that's his name. Yeah, that would be cool. A little double
yeah,
star. Great
yeah,
voice, but can also perform in the clutch in the sports moments. Yeah, who knows? I mean, we'll see how that progresses, but that's kind of a good segue into. I guess I got to answer for myself.
yeah,
Yeah, Mahomes is bad for the kids. He's whiny, he's crying, he's complaining to the refs. He always complains to the refs. Now the spotlight's finally on it, but every time he reminds me of Rodgers, where like if he gets touched, he complains to the refs. If his wide receivers get touched, he complains to the refs, and more often than not, he gets the call. So it's teaching kids that hey, if you complain to the refs enough, you're gonna get the calls. So just make sure you complain, and eventually they'll start calling some for you.
yeah. And I guess I don't disagree with that. He is whiny and he does get a lot of calls, but I think at the end of the day too, like I don't know how many star athletes do whine and get the calls. Like I just watched a Joel Embiid game where he shot 18 free throws. Like he's a flop. He's a whine. Like LeBron. Like I like LeBron a lot, but he's a flop.
LaFlop.
Yeah. So like, uh, yeah, I get what you're saying, and maybe it's not the best message, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to win, that's what he's trying to do, not like teach kids not how to whine.
Yeah.
But
If you
he
look at
does he
his
does have a touch of that. Did you ever watch Caillou, that Caillou kids show
Yeah,
with
no,
that whiny
he
boy? He
does
has a
have a
touch of
touch
Caillou
of
in him.
IU. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like go on the floor, cry, and swing your arms and legs around until you get what you want.
yeah,
Yeah, Caillou sucks.
yeah. We should
Uh,
do a villains draft sometime. He might go number one for me.
oh, what villains?
Yeah,
Caillou's your number one villain right now?
maybe.
Yeah, that kid sucks, man. He is such a whiner and a crier and a complainer, and his voice is so annoying. There's a really funny video on YouTube of this guy that used to just like shit on old cartoons, and he would like break it down and just be like, "What are we doing here?" Like at all the different comments or like the different scenes, he would just like break it down. He would pause it and just like, but it's a lot of curse words. So for my elderly people listening to this podcast, do not watch this clip. But if you just look up on YouTube like Caillou breakdown or something, you'll probably find it. But this guy
Yeah,
just like breaks down cartoons. It's hilarious. I'll send you the link after.
yeah. That would be
Um,
pretty sweet.
yeah, it's funny. So if you look at the off the field stuff for Mahomes, I agree with you. I think he's a good role model. I mean, like I said, he married his high school sweetheart. He did things the right way. Went to college for a few years, kind of worked his way up. He went to the NFL. He sat behind Alex Smith, and then when he got his chance, he just like excelled and became the best quarterback in the NFL and made his team a powerhouse. So off the field and like he's like involved in all this like investments and business and stuff like that QB1 show did a good job of showing like how hard he works off the field as well
Yeah,
on Netflix. And then he just that guy's on every commercial that you ever see. So I'm just so tired of him and his voice and his face and his
that's fair.
family. So I think it just gives me this bitter taste in my mouth, but I'm not going to forget the fact that he's like a free quarterback talent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said six. Like, I think there's more good than bad, but the whining it's annoying and bad for the slightly bad for the kids.
Bad for the kids. It's been decided. Bad for the kids. Patrick Mahomes is bad for the kids. The Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing, they could make super turbo babies if they ever decide to do that. But I'm just so tired, Craig, of hearing about the both of those. I'm so tired of seeing them on the TV. Tired of seeing it all over my Twitter account. Like, well, I don't know. What's your take on the power couple?
Yeah, I think I'm going to come out of this more favorable than you are. There are a few certainties in life. We're all going to die, and you just don't argue with the Swifties. Like it's just not a battle that's worth fighting. You're going across 60% of America. It's I like Taylor Swift. I'm not a huge Swiftie. I drove my wife to a concert, helped her get tickets. So I got a CD to listen to in the car ride for her and her friends. So like I support Swift. I'm not the biggest fan of her music. I respect what she's done, and it's one of those things where like I'm just not going to fight it because it's the easiest way to get 60% of people mad at you is just to like shit on Taylor Swift. So I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. Um, and that's from a perspective of someone who's not even a diehard Swiftie. And to be fair, I also like the pairing with Travis Kelce. I think they're a cute couple. And I'm not in probably in circles where I see it as much as you do, so I'm maybe not as you know annoyed with it, but I do like the couple quite a bit.
Well, Swifties, I'd like to formally
This
apologize for absolutely nothing. I hate Taylor Swift. I'm so sick of seeing her stupid face. I think she's overrated. I don't even think she's attractive. I think she's
oh,
obviously very talented, obviously probably the most popular woman in the world right now. And I'll give you
yeah, she's
that. I'll
Time
give you
Person of
that.
the Year.
Swifties. But Swifties that make Taylor Swift their whole personality drive me nuts. And Taylor Swift herself, that just is all over my timeline, all over my brain, all over everything because I can't get rid of her. It's like asbestos on the wall in an old house. You just no matter how hard you scrape and how much you fumigate the house, it's never gonna really go away.
Yeah, but
So
asbestos will kill you and make you miserable. But
Taylor
I,
Swift
I
makes me miserable. Taylor Swift is my asbestos, Craig.
I'm really frustrated. I have two friendship bracelets and I'm not wearing them right now, and I normally do. So I wish I could show the Swifties out there that they can side with me and shit on David. But I don't have proof right now. I'll have to wear it
Yeah.
next episode.
He's all talk. He hasn't got no friendship bracelets. But you know what? I was at my sister's graduation. I'm having a great time with my family. I'm sitting there. About to watch my sister walk across the stage, and the president of the university is bringing up Taylor Swift in his speech and tossing out friendship bracelets in the middle of the speech. And I was like, I can't escape this lady. Like, it just drove me nuts. So,
It's
Swifties,
it's the
come
one
at
thing
me. I
that
don't care. She sucks. She's overrated. Sick and tired of
well, we just lost 60% of our viewers. So
Okay. Well, you could have skipped that part. Whatever. If you're a big Taylor Swift fan, fine. I don't care if you love Taylor Swift with all your heart. I really don't. Because there's things that I love with all my heart that you guys don't give a shit about either. And that's totally normal. That's normal for everyone to have things that they care about and they love and they're passionate about. That's fine. But don't force it onto me, okay? Don't put it all over my TV. I'm trying to watch NFL football. I don't want to see Taylor Swift. I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift. I don't want anything to do with Taylor Swift. Don't put it all over my timeline. Listen to her music in the car on the way to her concert. Go to all her concerts that she ever has to ever exist. But don't put it into my life. I don't want it.
is your coworker ever going to talk to you again? I'm guessing that they are a Swifty fan.
I don't care. Corey, I don't care if you're a Swifty. We can still be friends after this. Don't let this tear us apart. But you know what? Screw Taylor Swift.
Wow, that is hot takes. Can't wait to clip that. And
That's fine. That's fine. I don't care.
what's Jackie think? Is she a Swifty?
No, she's not a Swifty. That's why we're
Okay.
we're good for each other.
Okay. Well, good for
She
good for
she
you too.
also is she's over the hype. If she was a
Wow.
diehard Swifty, I'd probably have to call it off.
Yeah. Well, I'm that's good for you too.
Yeah. It works out. Works out well. We usually tend to agree on most things, which is a good thing for our relationship. Otherwise, we'd be arguing a lot more.
It is
Instead, we
good.
just argue about like what to have for dinner and like dumb shit like that.
I will say for the Swifties out there, my favorite album, and this is not very traditional, but I do like her folklore album. I'm a big fan of that, and I do listen to that on the regular.
Never heard of it, never will, but I'm happy for you, Craig. Is there anything else we needed to tie the knot on from
Mm,
last episode? I mean, volleyball, we touched on it. Nebraska did not win the championship. Sorry,
yeah,
Nebraska.
yeah.
That was sad.
What's the pulse? The vibes in Nebraska, they've got
The
to be
vibes are
low,
low,
man.
dude. The vibes are rock bottom right now. You finally have a team and the sports team in Nebraska that's excelling and doing well. They were the number one team in the country, number one overall seed in the tournament. still couldn't get the job done. So it's like I feel bad for these Nebraska fans. They're so hopeful, they're so passionate about their teams. But on the bright side, so they lost to Texas. That's not a
Yeah.
bright side. On the bright side, you flip back over to football offseason. Dylan Raiola, number one overall quarterback
Yeah.
prospect, flips from Georgia to Nebraska. So the vibes in the football atmosphere are immaculate right now.
Right. Yeah, how are they gonna mess that up?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that you got to put some tools around them, obviously, but honestly, they could have probably won 8 games last year if they had like a competent quarterback and offense that didn't turn the ball over and held on to the ball. So I think they got to get a couple recruits, a couple transfers to help them out. But having the number one quarterback prospect is huge. And since I've been alive, they haven't had a great quarterback. Like so, if Raiola works out, it could be amazing for them and the fan
Yeah,
base.
it's exciting. I feel like Nebraska football deserves a little run. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it's just
It'd be good for the Big Ten too, because all the teams are on the East, like the East Division, or I forget what the division names are called, but like the West is wide open. Like
yeah.
Iowa normally wins it.
I know, but I think they're switching that up this year, aren't they?
Oh, they? Okay, I didn't know
I
that.
think just with adding those 4 new teams with like
Yeah,
Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington, I wonder
makes
if they'll
sense.
just go away with the divisions or whatever and just do the 2 best teams, which they
Yeah,
should.
they should. They
But
should.
you're right. If not, I mean, it'll be good. It would be good for the Big Ten. It's good for college football when Nebraska is relevant.
Yeah,
But what I have to tip my cap to Nebraska fans around the country and especially in Nebraska is those are some passionate fans that and they are not fair weather fans. There's a lot of program, like a lot of people like Chiefs fans. They're fair weather fans, from what I've seen. Not diehard Chiefs fans, but like there's people that will root for the Chiefs just because they're good. And when they have bad weeks or bad games, you don't hear a word from them. But Nebraska fans, man, they are through thick and thin, ups and downs. They have had a lot of downs in the past 25 years. So shout out Nebraska fans for being passionate, and it's good for me for living here. If Nebraska's more, if they're better and they're relevant, so I want to go to games. I want to wear their stuff. I want to support them. I want to watch them and be happy at the end of the game instead of just like depressed. So let's start winning some games, Nebraska. Hopefully Dylan Raiola can win a Heisman or something and make Nebraska good again.
it'd be sweet. It'd be fun. And how's the Nebraska volleyball team looking? Do you know what the vibes are? Do they have a good recruiting class?
Don't know shit about Nebraska volleyball, but I'm sure they have a good recruiting class. I'm sure they'll be
Okay.
good again next year. But and then everything's bigger and better in Texas, I guess. So they go and face Texas and they just dominate them. So
Yeah.
vibes got to be pretty low right now for the Nebraska volleyball fans. I mean, it's tough to just be like the best team. They probably are the best team. Nebraska's probably the best team they've been in the last 10 years, I would have to guess.
Yeah. They
And they
were
just
so
got
good.
crushed. Just got
Yeah.
crushed. So that's demoralizing. It's kind of like Oregon, where I thought like they were the best team or best Oregon team I've seen in a long time, and they lost to Washington twice, who I thought they were the much better team than Washington. So it's just like you get your hopes and emotions so high, and then they just get crushed so low.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Frustrating. Those Oregon games were good, especially that
Yeah,
second one.
they're good games. Can't deny that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But just not the outcomes I wanted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good, 15 minutes talking about non-Christmas stuff. So why don't we crack into the Christmas stuff? I'm wearing this fucking Santa robe and the Santa hat,
Let's
so we might
crack
as
into
well
it.
get
Yeah.
into it. Yeah. Um, I just want to get in first and foremost about Christmas movies is the first thing coming into my head because
Mm.
I've been trying to do so. Usually in the past, I've just been like, I'm gonna watch the same Christmas movies that I've always watched year in and year out. Make sure I just refresh and watch those Christmas movies. We're talking Elf. We're talking Fred Claus. We're talking Christmas Vacation. But this year, I've been trying to go out of my way to watch Christmas movies that I've not seen before. Either they're new or they're classics that I've always heard about but I've never seen. So, I mean, what's your take on Christmas movies? Do you have some that you watch every year, some that you've never seen that you wish you've seen? What do you think?
I'm not a big Christmas movie guy, and I'm just not a big movie guy. But I've got a couple favorites that I tend to watch maybe once a year, once every other year.
What are those favorites?
So my family is big into like the old like claymation, like Santa Claus is coming to town, and Little Drummer Boy, and I actually like those because they're nostalgic and they're pretty quick. So I
What
do
are
enjoy
those? Like 20 minutes?
maybe a little longer than that. Um,
You
yeah,
got
I
the
think it's a
attention span of like a squirrel. You can't watch a movie longer than like a 40
no. I
minute
mean, I
short
can.
animation.
It's just not my thing. I don't know. I think they're kind of cheesy, and like I was into them as a kid. But I will die on this hill. My favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. Um,
It's not a Christmas
it
movie.
is. It is. The chat will agree with me. That and Taylor Swift, I'm right about. Um, So that's my favorite Christmas movie. I don't watch that every year. I also think that Harry Potter movies are kind of Christmas movies. They always
No
have a
bullshit.
few Harry Potter's Christmas scenes. So, like honestly, like those are kind of the movies that I prefer to watch. I do like A Christmas Story, and or Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation. Um, and then there's one other one that I'm forgetting the name of that Sophie and I watched last year that I liked.
What's the
But
plot?
it's like this. Here, let me pull it up and then I can.
Is the Christmas Story the one where he gets asks for the rifle and shoots his eye out,
Yeah, yeah,
and the kid gets his tongue stuck to the pole?
yeah,
Well,
yes,
dude, the Die Hard thing. I think we've probably argued this on our last Christmas episode last
yeah.
year. But Die Hard is definitely not a Christmas movie. I finally watched it for the first time, at least like the Die Hard original one. Aren't there like two or three now?
Yes. Yeah, no, just the first one is the one.
So I used to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's like just like a
Yep.
comedy police satire show.
Yeah,
And
one
then,
of the guys just died, right?
oh, I don't know. Way to
Yeah, I
just
think
bring the mood down.
sorry.
No, which guy died?
The I think like the black officer guy, he just passed of
Oh,
some kind of
damn.
cancer. I
Actually,
forget what his name was.
I think I did see that somewhere. Damn, that's sad.
Yeah,
Damn.
sorry to
Captain.
yeah.
Damn. Captain Holtz.
Okay.
That
There you
sucks.
go.
Okay, so let's change the vibes. This is depressing now. Um, fuck, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, but the main character always talks about Die Hard, and he always wants to like recreate the scenes. Like he wants to be that badass guy, you know. And I get it. Why
Bruce.
wouldn't you? Especially if you're a cop. Yeah, he wants to like be Bruce Willis. I get it.
Yeah.
Everyone that wants to be Bruce Willis in Die Hard. But uh, we watched Die Hard. I've never seen it, so I've always wanted to watch it. But we watched it on Christmas Eve at Jackie's house, I think 2 years ago, and it like made me so mad that we spent like Christmas Eve night watching that movie instead of like all the other Christmas movie options that put you in a Christmas spirit. I was just like, this movie just made me like it made my heart race. It was a action thriller, not a Christmas movie whatsoever, and we just wasted all the Christmas Eve vibes on this stupid ass action movie, which I would love if I watched it in June, July, or August. But the fact that we watched it Christmas Eve just pissed me off.
You're not a yippee mother trucker
Not on
kind
Christmas
of guy.
Eve. No, that's
Dude,
not
it's
what
so
Santa
good.
Claus
And
was.
Alan Rickman, like that was before he was big. It's a great movie.
It is a great
The,
movie. I'm not denying that. It's a great movie, but it's not a Christmas movie, and it kills the Christmas vibes.
the other Christmas movie that I do like is it's Love Actually. I think it's I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's about this big family that's like kind of all spread out and yeah, they kind of come together.
I don't think I've seen
Um,
Love Actually, but I do like romantic movies and I like Christmas movies, so it sounds like a perfect mix for me.
you'd like it. I think I'd recommend it.
Okay.
So what are your go-tos? I've been jabbering on enough about like my takes and I don't even really care. So
No, I appreciate your jabbering. So I mean, the classics that I like to watch and think that are great classic Christmas movies are Elf,
yeah,
Fred
Elf is
Claus,
good. That's fair.
Christmas Vacation. Those are three absolute classics for me. Those are my top three. Um, And then I just like to, see whatever else is on. I think like the original Santa Claus was a solid movie. I've been trying to watch a lot of Christmas movies this year, so I've watched. Oh wait, that's my packing list for this weekend. That's not my Christmas list. I've been taking notes on the Christmas movies so I don't forget because they're all kind of similar. But Last Christmas, great movie. I give that one about a 7.2 out of 10. So check that one out.
Okay.
Holiday Fix Up is one of those Hallmark ass movies. If you like those movies, watch it. If you don't. Christmas with the Campbells. It's another kind of Hallmarky movie. Same thing. If you like Hallmarky movies, watch it. If you don't, do not. Candy Cane Lane's a new Eddie Murphy movie on Amazon Prime. Have you seen that one or seen the previews at all of it?
No.
Okay, well, decent movie overall. I give it like a 6 out of 10. So
Okay.
it's nothing to
Funny.
go to the family Christmas party and rave about, but decent movie. It's good to have like some new movies in there, Otherwise, you're just
Yeah.
watching the same ones over and over. Um, oh yeah, one of the classics I want to talk about too is it's kind of controversial. It's like not controversial, but either you love it or you hate it. It's The Grinch. The Grinch
The
Stole
Grinch.
Christmas. What's your take on The Grinch?
Hmm. Yeah, that's one I've seen more than others. It's kind of a weird dude, but are you talking about like the animated or like the real person one?
I think you could take it either way. You could take it either direction. But I mean, the more popular one I think is a Jim Carrey like live
Yeah.
action one.
It's kind of creepy. I also think it's hilarious that the Whovilles like start out and it's like a swinging scene. Like I never realized that when I was younger. And like, um, so kids, yeah, don't ignore that first scene if you're listening. I don't know. I'm pretty neutral. Like I don't watch it every year. I've watched it probably 5 times.
Okay.
It doesn't
Um,
doesn't kill my vibe. I like it. I'd
yeah.
give it a 6 out of 10. 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's one of those good storylines that starts with the angry Grinch hates Christmas and hates the Who's, and then he ends up switching his thoughts and feelings on it, and ends up being a hero to save the day. But really, it's funny because he's like the hero, but none of those problems would have existed if it wasn't for him in the
Right,
first place.
right.
Another classic that I just couldn't think of at the moment, but now that we started talking about like the Grinch, it made me think of Polar Express. Polar Express is a
Mm,
classic Christmas movie. It
I
always
hate that
hits.
movie. I
Oh, come
just think
on.
it's so boring, dude.
What?
Never got into it.
The middle
Yeah.
of it is pretty boring, I will say. Like the intro is cool and the ending is great when they get to the North Pole, but like the middle parts are a little
I, I
boring.
was so excited to watch that movie and I just oh dragged on and on. Come on, David.
Dude, it's a Christmas classic. It's a Christmas classic.
It's
It's
Christmas
just,
trash.
you just got to make sure you believe. That's your problem. You don't hear the bell because you don't believe.
Yeah, I
But
guess not.
if you believe in
I'll
the
die.
spirit of Christmas, then that movie just touches the soul.
I will die on the Swift's hill, the Die Hard hill, and the Polar Express stinks hill.
Damn. Okay. Another one I watched was Xmas. It was on like Freevee or something, so I watched that one. It was decent. Uh, Deck the Halls is like an older Christmas movie. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
So I'm sure like
Mm.
a lot of our listeners have seen that. It's like the neighbor moves in across the street. He goes crazy for Christmas type thing.
A long time ago, I actually did watch
Yeah.
that. I don't really
That was
remember it, but
okay. Danny DeVito's in that one, so he's always a funny character. But that's one that I might add to the repertoire for Christmas classics. Um, and then the one that I tried to watch last night, which is going to be a kind of more controversial take, is "It's a Wonderful Life." Have you ever seen
mm,
that one, Craig?
yeah, a
You seem
while
like
ago.
"It's a Wonderful Life" stan. Are you a Wonderful Life stan?
No, I'm not staying. I liked it. What's your take?
Well, it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long, first of all. Second of all, I couldn't find it on a free service, so I had to watch it. I watched it on YouTube TV that I pay for, but I had to watch ads. So every like 10 minutes, I had to watch like 2 minutes worth of commercials.
Could you not like record it? Like find a plan
I
ahead
don't,
and add it
I
to your
think
library?
I forgot to record it, so I had to
Yeah.
watch it with commercials. But so that pissed me off. Like it's like I had to watch it like I was in the 40s with actual commercials. I couldn't fast forward through, so that was annoying. And then just the fact that it's black and white drives me crazy. I'm not a black and white guy. I want to see some colors. So maybe I need to try to find like a reimagined version with some colors. But the black and white pissed me off. And then
Well, the
I think
commercials are on you. That's your own fault.
so. No spoilers because I fell asleep at the end. I couldn't make it through the whole movie. Talk about a snooze fest. Fell asleep at the end of that one, and I fell asleep right when the angel comes down and saves him from trying to kill himself in the water. So my take right now, at where it stands in that point in the movie, is not a Christmas movie. Not a Christmas movie. I wasted 2.5 hours of vibes on Christmas vibes watching "It's a Wonderful Life" because on my other podcast, the football podcast, they told me, "Oh, you got to watch "It's a Wonderful Life. It's one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time." I got a coworker Scott. He tells me, "Oh, dude, you got to watch "It's a Wonderful Life. It's a tearjerker, greatest movie of all time." Not a Christmas movie so far. So kind of pissed off at that. Spent 2.5 hours watching this with all the ads and stuff. Didn't even make it through yet. Haven't even finished it yet. Not a Christmas movie.
That's maybe one I should rewatch because I don't have a strong opinion. Like I remember liking it. Um, so that'll be my goal is to watch that this year and
My
come
take,
back with an opinion.
my take is George Bailey, the main character that everyone's supposed to love. I'm sure every viewer is supposed to love him. Kind of pissed me off. Kind of a little bit of a crybaby, little Patrick Mahomes esque. He marries the beautiful wife that he wants, that he dreams about when he's younger. They clicked and then they ended up getting married. They have multiple kids together. I mean, his life looks like a nightmare for me, but for him, he took over his dad's business. Everyone in the town loves him. Like I said, he married his beautiful wife. He had lots of kids with her. And then he just bitches and moans and says that he's not happy and he's living this miserable life because he couldn't travel the world. Well, dude, it was the 1910s. Did they even have airplanes and shit back then? Like, what do you mean you want to travel the world? Like, dude, suck it up. You have a good life back home in Beaver Falls or whatever the hell their town was called. And so, it kind of just put a sour taste in my mouth, his negative attitude, and then it wasn't a Christmas movie as far as I was concerned. So,
I think your synopsis and your critiques of it are mean that I'm gonna really like this movie.
yeah, pretty
So
much. That's
I
usually how
really
things
need to
go
watch this. Yeah,
on this show.
rewatch it.
So, all right, that's enough for Christmas movies. Unless you got something else you
No,
wanna.
that's all good.
Okay. What other what kind of we touched about it a little bit before we started recording, but what kind of Christmas like traditions do you and your family do? What are you excited for this year?
Yeah, my family, or on my dad's side, it's his family's from Denmark, and so we make rice pudding every year, which is a really good dessert. I love it. But there's like a little cranberry sauce that's fire. You have it with coffee after the big meal. It's amazing. And then there's you take a dish, and in one of the dishes there's a nut, and you have to hide the nut if you get it, and you kind of keep it in your mouth, and you don't want people to see that you have it. And then if you get the nut, you get a big prize, nice big gift basket. So that's pretty fun. We've been doing that for as long as I've been born, and before that too. And then my mom's side, this year trying to start a new tradition. I think we're doing some like minute to win it games. I've got the best grandparents that you met. So like we're trying to come up with, different age, like age neutral kind of games that, don't require like, because some people are more athletic or some
Yeah,
people
nothing.
are, more talented at like acting or singing. So like trying to come up with stuff that everyone can be good at. So that'll be fun.
Nothing physical. Keep grandma and grandpa safe this holiday
Yeah.
season, please.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want grandma playing tennis because she broke her arm playing like 15 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Keep her safe. Don't No Oklahoma drills in the living
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
So
Right. So yeah, those are kind of the two things I'm most looking forward to. And then like with my family, and then we also do like the white elephant kind of thing. So, and of course, got to look forward to Santa.
what's your white elephant budget?
We do like, well, my family does a little different. Well, I guess I don't know. I think there's different white elephant versions, but we do like four gifts of like $10. Um,
Do you put them all in like the middle and then everybody takes one or what?
yeah. So everyone opens the first round and then you can steal or open a gift.
That's a good idea. That's
Yeah.
kind of fun. Yeah, white elephant can be fun. Do you do like serious stuff or do you like terrible gifts? Or is it both?
Most of it's like I'd say like 80 to 90% of it's probably like pretty good stuff. Like oftentimes it's like snack food from Trader Joe's or like gummy bears or maybe someone made something from scratch and then like those are really coveted. And then like there's a couple things that maybe are kind of more jokes, but
Yeah.
most of them are good.
Yeah, you could probably go to like the $10 and under section at like Ross or Marshalls or TJ Maxx and
Yeah.
find some decent white elephant gifts there. Like
Yeah.
some people might be like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? And some people would be like, oh, this is kind of useful. So
Yeah.
that's a fun activity. With the rice pudding, I want to talk about that a little bit. So is it legitimately like rice, like white rice mixed with like vanilla pudding, or how does
It,
the actual thing
it's
get
like a
made?
creamy sauce and like it doesn't taste like rice. Like it's like it's more chewable rice or not more chewable. Like um
I was gonna say rice is pretty chewable.
no, like it more like melts in your mouth kind of thing.
Okay. Is it a warm dish or a cold dish?
Warm, and then I think we eat it cold.
What does that mean?
Wait,
Is
that's
it warm or cold?
oh my God, what I'm panicking. Well, because we pre-make it. I think it's
So
you can
like
do
you
both,
you
I
heat it
think.
up to make it, and then you put it in the fridge to cool
Fridge,
down, and you eat it
yes.
cold. Okay.
Yeah, but I think we normally eat it cold, but then we put like cherry sauce on top, then that's hot because that's coming off the oven. So that's you can do both, I think. But wow,
Okay.
I really am appearing like a fake fan right now. I this is
Yeah,
this is
dude.
my I hope none of my family listens to this episode because they would be disgraced.
Yeah, the Danish are disappointed right now in
Yeah.
Craig and his rice pudding knowledge. Okay, so when it's all said and done and when it's all finished, you do want to end up with the nut in your mouth, but you don't want to
Yes.
swallow the nut, right?
Right. Yeah. Don't want to
Okay.
swallow the nut.
Yes, don't swallow the nut, but you do want to end up with the nut in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that all makes sense. The Danish were low key freaks.
I guess so.
Shout out the Danish.
Yeah.
What's usually the prize if you get the nut in your mouth?
It's kind of like a big like
Merch?
gift basket. Like, there's probably some, kind of like maybe there's like it's kind of like a package for like serving people. So like if you're hosting an event, there'd be some bar mix, like some, snack food. There might be some sweet things. There might be a bottle of wine. There might be, some charcuterie stuff. So just kind of a nice spread of, if you're hosting people at New Year's or whatever, you've got people things to snack on.
Okay, so the Danes weren't handing out flat screen TVs if you get the nut in your
No,
mouth.
no.
Okay, I
But
got you.
when my grandma was still alive, she made sure that every kid got a nut. Um,
Oh, that's sweet of
but
her.
then as soon as she passed, um,
Then reality
we
sunk
went
in,
to
and
war.
not
Yeah,
every kid gets nut in their mouth.
and we got like small gift cards. That was like our prize. So
Hmm.
and like an ornament. So it was sweet.
Well, that's sweet. So that was
Yeah.
going to be my other question with the nuts. Do you put it in the dish randomly and then it just ends up, or do you like have the pieces all cut out and then you like take the nut and like push it in there or something?
Yeah, so one person will do all the dishing up, and it's like an almond, and they just put it in one of them, and like kind
Okay.
of
But you
make it
can't
so you
tell,
can't see it.
you can't see like the
Right. There's enough
ripple effect.
enough
You
putting in
put
the
it in.
dish that you can't see it, and then
Okay.
they're the one who takes the last nut.
Did you ever do the pickle on the tree? Sounds very similar to
No, we
this.
haven't done that. Do you do that?
What you know what like culture or whatever does that?
The pickle thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just
What
white
is it?
people or
I don't know. I don't do it.
yeah, I
I'm
guess
pretty
no.
white.
But the pickle on the tree thing, if you don't know, it's just like a pickle ornament, I think, and then it's just put
Yeah.
on the tree. And you find it, you win a prize.
Yeah.
But then, like, I never really understood that one because, like, once my parents would put up all the ornaments, then I would just be spending every second searching for the damn
Right. It's not
pickle.
hard to yeah, it's like an easy I spy.
That's like not that hard. Okay, well, yeah, that's one I'm not going to do with my family. Did you ever do the elf on the shelf?
Mm-mm, nope.
You could have used a little elf on the shelf. You kind of look like the elf on the shelf.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. You just
I have
look a little.
small ears. My ears are tiny.
Yeah. Well, so the elf on the shelf, that's like the parents will put it on and then like they say that he's watching for Santa Claus, right? Like watching to see
Oh,
how you are behaving. And then like to show the kids that he's like real, they'll move him like each night to a different spot. And sometimes they'll do things, I guess, like draw a picture or leave a message or
oh, that's
just to like
cool. I
show the
like
kids
that.
that he's like a real elf.
Yeah, I like
Too
that.
much of it sounds like a pain in the ass for me. It's probably why my parents never did it. So I probably won't be continuing that tradition either.
What does your family do? What are your traditions?
So usually Christmas Eve, we'll do like a fondue dinner. So it's like the fondue, but like you think of like cheese or chocolate fondue, right? But ours is like hot oil, and then you do like
That's
steak and
good
or like
stuff.
shrimp. We recently started adding shrimp to
Mm,
the repertoire. So you just like grab the tongs, stab them, put it in the fondue. It's like a good way to do it because it's just like it allows us to like all talk and stuff while like the meat is heating up. And so normally like with the normal dinner, right? Like my dad will like slave away and cook a meal, and then we'll like all sit down and we'll just like eat and like
yeah,
barely speak probably because you're just like chowing away. But like this one allows you to like, all right, I'm gonna stab this meat, I'm gonna put it in there, and then we can just chat for a couple minutes while it's cooking. So it's kind of
that's
nice to
pretty
do that.
sweet.
This year we're not doing it because we're having like our nieces are coming over. So nieces fondue, I'll take the nieces, and we're gonna do something a little safer. Having all that hot oil is probably a little bit risky for those like
Yeah,
a 3-year-old and then two like less than 6-month olds. So
how to get
probably
third degree burns when you're
yeah.
young niece.
That'd be a vibe killer for sure if they got some oil burns on Christmas Eve. So we're gonna
Yeah.
go away from that, but we'll be back to it, I'm sure. Um, and then my favorite tradition is Christmas morning. We do like a really extensive breakfast. So like a cinnamon bun or sticky bun or whatever they
Mm,
call it, with like pecans on it or whatever. Then we do like scrambled eggs. We'll do toast. We'll do sausage. We'll do bacon, like the whole 9 yards. It's made hash
that's
brown.
cool.
Like,
Just a good ass breakfast. That's
oh
just
yeah, you just
everything.
wake up and just start your day off with an amazing breakfast, like, and then you just go about your Christmas day having like a belly full of just amazing breakfast.
That's sweet. That's good.
That's a good
I'm
tradition
hungry now.
that I hope to continue on with my family. So
Cool.
those are the biggest things, and then just seeing family. I'm going to the Wood family Christmas this year in Chicago for the first time in probably 5 years, 5 or 6 years, just because they would always do the Christmas after my grandma passed away. They would do it just like on the weekend before Christmas, I think, to allow like
Mm,
people to have Christmas with their immediate family or their other side of the family. So we would do that, but then I was always like at school or with
right.
work or residency. It was too hard to like get away. So this year we were able to get away. They did a Christmas weekend, so we're gonna make the trip back to Wisconsin, then hike down to Chicago for the Wood family Christmas. So excited to see that side of the family. There's some members that I've still not met yet. So
Okay.
looking forward to that.
Of course I won't be there, but that, that'll be a good time. Where in Chicago are they?
Uh, I don't know. I think they're all like scattered in different suburbs. I think the uncle that I'm going to lives in Geneva, I think, Illinois. So I don't know how
Okay.
far that is from actual Chicago, but
That's a nice town. That's
Yeah.
yeah, definitely not like in Chicago, but yeah,
Yeah. No, I don't think any of them are in like downtown Chicago
downtown.
or
Yeah,
like even like most of them probably aren't even in like the suburbs anymore, but in that general vicinity, you know.
yeah, that makes sense. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. It's gonna be a
Well,
lot of driving.
yeah,
Wish we had a ride on Santa's sleigh this Christmas season because it's gonna be a ton of miles on my car on the poor Fusion. So
can't wait
hopefully
to hear about that. Grinds my gears.
hopefully she stays loyal to me. Oh yeah, I try to just stay away from negative things because it's the Christmas episode, so I'll have to maybe just keep information about the my sister's graduation and my plane travels
Yeah,
for maybe next time.
shout out. It's Abby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Abby. Congrats.
Yeah, yeah. She graduated from college, so gonna go on to get a master's degree somewhere, I'm sure. But got a lot of things to bitch about that weekend. It was a great weekend. Don't get me wrong. Had a good time with my family and great seeing Abby graduate. But there's a few grinds my gears from just the logistics of the graduation itself, and then just plane travel. You know how I feel about plane travel. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's save that. But one thing I do want to touch on, we're almost end of 2023. You had a New Year's resolution this year. Where where are we at?
yeah, that resolution died months ago, Craig. Months ago. Yeah, I was
I,
supposed to exercise like 5 times a week or something. I did it for like 3 months, 3 or 4 months, and then I kind of just like died off. I don't know if I got busy. We ended up moving. Uh, I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to see. I think the biggest thing I need to change this year in 2024 is my diet. If I change my diet and then I do start working out more than like I was before, then I'll start to get shredded. But right now, I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm just eating like shit and being a bum, watching as many Christmas movies as I can.
Shredded David 2024.
Yeah, I'm gonna be shredded like cheese in 2024.
Can you this is a tech question, so sorry listeners, can you see me? My screen went blank.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay,
That's not
that's
good
weird.
that it went Blake. Yeah,
That is not good.
no, it's not good. But I think since I started the meeting, you can jump off and jump back on if you need to.
I can't even like it might be a laptop issue. Oh, there I'm back. I'm back. We back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're
Sorry
back.
about that.
That's the power of the Christmas spirit. We're back.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
I apologize everyone. I was grumpy last episode, but I've been trying to be positive. I'm pumped. I've got my gifts sorted out, so we're good.
Yeah, it's always stressful when you're
Good
trying to do
vibes
this
now.
for everybody. Yeah, that's a stressful part of Christmas. But I'm glad you got it all organized. We are 3 days out now, so that's a good time to have everything done. Otherwise, you'd be
Yeah.
scrambling.
Yeah. And I was on a work trip and it's like it's super fun, but it's just like the worst timing. It's like 4 days of like when I need to be like focusing on like
Yeah, you need to be buckling down.
yeah.
For sure. Okay, let's wrap it up here with I got to head to work here soon. Wrap
Yeah.
it up with our college football little bet that we're going to have going on for the
Yeah.
listeners to get involved into. Gives us something to get competitive towards the New Year's season. So why don't you tell us about the bet and we'll make our picks.
Yeah, so we're doing I think there's a total of 7 potential points. We're doing picks for the first round and for championship games. So the bets that we're making are we're just choosing the winner money line from the first round. So Texas versus Washington, pick one, Bama versus Michigan, pick one. Then we're choosing a champion. By the way, those first games are just worth 1 point. Choosing the correct champion is 2 points. It does not necessarily have to be, someone that you picked in the first round to win. If you want to hedge, you can. Then we're doing from the first round, choosing over unders based off of the total that's predicted. So for the Texas Washington game, the line is set at 64 and a half. And for Bama Michigan, it's 45 and a half. So we're picking over unders. Those are both 1 point. And then we're picking a total points scored in the championship game. Closest person gets 1 point.
Okay, but I'm on DraftKings, so I'm going to use 44 and a half and 63 and a half.
Okay, that's fine. Mine came from BetMGM a couple
So
days ago.
we can
So
have a little bit of a lower total.
sounds good.
Okay, you want to go first on the I got Alabama Michigan game, the first game on my screen
Yep.
here. So
This is tough. I think Michigan and Bama are the two best teams. So this was hard for me.
it's a tough one.
I think I need to say roll Wolverines. I'm going
Okay.
Michigan.
Okay, that's good because I'm gonna go Alabama.
Okay.
So opposite here, I'm gonna go Bama. I think they're just the better team, top to bottom. I think Michigan's a solid team. I'm not saying they're not. I don't think they're fraudulent, but I just think Alabama. I just think Alabama's good for college football as far as like ratings and all that stuff. I think it would be better to see Michigan win the game, but I'm gonna do an emotional hedge here and take Alabama. I think Nick Saban, just he's a legend in college football, and they're a powerhouse. So I'm gonna go Alabama with the
Okay.
upset.
I like it. I like it. And that's I really was. I really think it's a coin flip. I do think Bama might be a little better, but I mean, this is think if I don't know, this is bad logic, but this might be the year for Michigan. Like
Yeah, no,
Bama's
I
going
can
along
see
on
it. I
top.
mean, it's a 1 versus 4, and it's a 1.5 point spread, so that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder when the last time that's happened. Like, I feel
Right.
like if it's the 1v4 is always like a blowout.
Right. Should we do the over under for that game?
Yep, let's knock out that game first. Since you went first with the pick, I'll go first with the over under. That's tough. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna go over 44.5.
Okay. I'm going under. I think it's going to be ugly.
You're thinking an ugly game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be ugly. And the other thing that I could see is I could see Bama kind of routing Michigan. I don't know if Michigan's gonna put up points. And so I could see a world in which it's, I don't know, 23-10 Bama or 23-7 and Michigan's just not able to score points. So I'm hedging a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that too. This was a tough one, the tough over under for me. I'm just hoping, they can make a tough nose offense, maybe like a pick six here and there, just get a couple points. Like 44.5 seems pretty low to me, so I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with the over, and I'm glad this is why this bet is gonna be great for us because you and I just don't agree on a lot of things, so it works well that
Right.
we're opposite so far.
We need to do more bets, see who's superior.
Yeah, that sounds fine with me. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about what the wager is at the end of this once we make all our
Okay.
picks.
Yep.
Okay, next we got the Texas Washington, right? We're good on
Yep.
that game.
You
Okay.
you picked this game first, and I'll do the first over under. That sound
Okay,
good?
we got Texas, number 3 seed versus number 2 seed Washington. Washington undefeated, Texas one loss. You got Texas -4, so they're favored. So even though they got the one loss and they're
Yep.
the 3 seed versus the 2 seed, they are favored -4 or by 4 points. Um, and just picking straight money line here, I'm going to go Texas. I think Texas is a better team. I think they have the better players, better athletes. Washington has crushed my hopes and dreams twice this year, but I'm hoping Texas crushes theirs this week.
This really kills me. I know Texas is the favorite, but I have to go Washington. I think that they're a good team, and I don't think Texas deserved to be in. I don't think that they're a top four team. So definitely a mathematical, illogical move on my part, but I got to keep it going, and we're just going to keep disagreeing.
Okay. Okay, that's good. We're all opposite so far. And then you got the first over under pick on this one.
Yep, I'm going to go over. I think it's going to be shootout.
Okay, I hate to do it, but I'm going to go over as well. So we're going to
Okay.
agree on that one. Both over. We're both riding the overs on this one. I think 63.5 is too low for these teams. They both have really good offenses. Both defenses can be kind of vulnerable sometimes. I could see a world where, like you mentioned in the first game, where Texas blows out Washington and it becomes like 42-10 or something game where
Yeah.
like we see a blowout and then it doesn't quite hit the over. So
All right. Should we
and
do
then
total for the championship game?
yeah, yeah, total for the championship game. Total points. It's hard because we don't even know what teams are going to be in, so you're kind of taking a shot in the dark here and just hoping for the best. But I'm going to go 52 points.
Okay.
52 is a number that just popped into my head. I'm gonna just ride it. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna hope for the best. It's gonna be one of those games I think that starts out slow. Both teams are really nervous. A lot of these are college kids, when it's all said and done, so they're gonna be nervous first when it starts out. But maybe that means the defense is nervous too. So I'm gonna hope for some points. I'm gonna go 52 as my number.
Okay. I'm going 44, my old basketball number. I think Michigan and Bama just have stout defenses, and I mean, one of them is making it in. So I think it'll be a low total. You were looking at the over unders for the different scenarios, but I'm going 44. I think it'll be a little bit uglier,
Okay, I think that's fair. I could see an ugly championship for sure.
but yeah, 44 is not. That's pretty standard, right?
Yeah. No, that's probably a much better guess than mine, but I guess I'm hoping for high scoring. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
screwed. All right, now what? The winner?
Yeah, winner. I can go first because you did the first one. I'm kind of torn here. Because there's something I want to do. Um, I think I like my picks more than you, so I'm gonna hedge here. I'm gonna hedge. I'm going Bama to win the championship, even though I
Okay.
picked them to lose the first round. I want to hedge, and I think that's the way I want to go. And I do think that they're the best team.
Okay. Um, I mean that's a good pick. I was thinking Bama as well, but I'm gonna go something different here just because I don't want to have the same pick as you for the winner. Um, oh God, this makes me nervous because I think that they're kind of fraudulent and I don't see them winning at all. You know what? I'm not going to pick them anyways. I'm going to go horns up, Texas, winning it
Wow.
all.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
riding Texas. So if they lose to Washington, my whole thing is shot. But I'm going to go
Yeah.
Texas, horns up, rematch against Alabama. They beat them again, and they show that they're the better team.
I actually like how this played out because Michigan, Bama, we both, we have different bets, but it could even out with me picking Bama to win. And if yeah, so this will be this will be interesting. If Texas wins and Bama wins, I'm not out of it.
Yeah, I mean, good luck to you. I was going to pick
Good luck.
Bama, so I think that's a great pick. They're like that. I think they're like the dark horse that everybody isn't going to see coming, and they're going to come like crazy, like that Ohio State team back at the original
Yeah,
playoff in 2015, where they barely got in and then ended up winning it all.
just rolling. Yeah.
But I'll go Texas to switch it up. I think Texas is a good team. I think they belong. I think Quinn Ewers is a stud, and they have a lot of playmakers on the outsides, and so I think they're going to make some noise.
Okay, cool. Should we talk about our bet?
Yeah, why don't you lay it out for the listeners? What's the
I
wager?
well, asked ChatGPT different, good things to bet on, or like, what's a good punishment for a bet. So I think the loser has to send some baked goods to the winner. It's not too hard. It's enough of a pain in the ass, and it's not super expensive, but shipping isn't free and ingredients aren't free. So, do we want to do of just loser chooses what they make, or does the winner get to specify like, oh, I want a lemon tart or chocolate chip
No,
cookies
hell
or
no. Loser gets to decide what they're
all
making.
right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Making you. I'm not making you any fucking rice
All
pudding
right,
or anything like
just
that.
no, no, it's not a baked good.
I don't know. You didn't describe it very well, so I'm very.
Yeah, that is fair.
I'm just gonna send you a bag of almonds.
Okay.
Okay, so I really hope I win this because I don't want to bake anything, and so we'll see what happens. But I
Cool.
like it. It's a wager that, like you said, it's not overly crazy. We don't have to get a tattoo or anything like that, but it's something that's definitely inconvenient and would be funny to make the other person do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good luck. Best of luck to you. And I'm excited to watch the games. I think we'll have three good games,
Yeah,
hopefully.
it's a great playoff. I hope so. I hope that it all pans out that way, and I hope it comes down to the final game for our bets. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But thank you all for listening. This has been a very fun holiday edition with some regular episode material sprinkled in there of episode 28. So 28 of Peakton College. So we're moving along in the episode sequence. Any final thoughts, Craig, before we head into the holidays?
Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everything
Kwanzaa.
else, Kwanzaa, yeah, everything that I missed. So enjoy time with your family. Hope you get to be recharged going into 24.
All right. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that sign off. Thank you all for listening.
Peace
Happy
out.
holidays.